the 17 years that we've been having concerts, nobody ever seemed to care about learning about the concerts. And so today we're going to give you all the information, and probably some that you don't even want to know. But you should know that all of the concerts are not paid for by the town. They are paid for through the generosity of businesses, residents, music lovers, and audiences. And let me tell you a little bit about the history of what we call the Millennium Memorial Complex. A lot of people call it Riley Field, and wonderful Riley Field is part of the complex. But we also have the Catherine and Joseph Nisby Bandstand and an all-weather track, a snack shack, and we have real bathrooms. Working at the library, I realized we had this beautiful new library. We have a beautiful new town hall. And wouldn't it be nice to finish off the area with a bandstand? Most towns have a center with a bandstand. So I began with a few friends checking other towns for their bandstands for ideas. And I was all set to launch a campaign for fundraising, even though we really didn't know where we were going to put it. At that time, Jack Riley called me and said, "You know, we have an idea. The millennium is coming up. We could have a project called 2000 for 2000, and he had hoped to get 2,000 people to donate $2,000, and that would cover the cost of a complex that, if I wanted to join them, would include a bandstand." So we started our campaign, and we called it 2000 for 2000. Well, we didn't have too much luck getting $2,000 from people, but we had enough to get the project started, and we thought we had enough to finish it. However, this whole area, donated by the school department or school committee, whomever, was filled with ledge. So the project was not ready in 2000. It wasn't ready in 2001, 2002, 2003. We finally had our grand opening in May of 2005. And the cost of the whole complex was over $2 million and not $200,000. It would not have been possible had it not been for the generosity of so many kind donations of goods or just plain workforces that didn't charge anything. So we now have this beautiful complex, and all the bands that have played here, as well as all the people that come, say it's the best one around. So in the beginning, we were able to have 5 concerts, and one was the community band. And that was one of the reasons why we built the bandstand, not just because the town should have one, but the community band that had started a few years before needed a place to play. They were always huddled in the corner in front of the old high school, and it just didn't seem proper. In the beginning, we had little schedules. Now we have this huge trifold. In the beginning, I used to pray to get 200 or 300 people, and now we get way more than that. In the beginning, I wrote to the selectmen, and they agreed that we would form an appointed committee, and all the funding would go through the town. We do have a committee of 4 now. Our committee, of course, is Jan Prowl, who's sitting here with me, and then we also have 2 gentlemen. We have Peter McDonald, and he was on the building committee for the bandstand as well, and he also plays trumpet in the community band. We have Ken Coyle, who was a selectman. We do have 2 volunteers that are helping us in helping people, and that would be Beth Anderson Godfrey and Jean Matevia. How did you feel about finally having concerts again after having none last year? I had mixed emotions because we didn't know we could have concerts till very late in the season, so we only had a small schedule that we could pass out to people. But other than that, I'm happy that we're able to once again have concerts.
Well, the interesting part about feeling good about coming back was that even though we didn't have outdoor concerts last year, we used the money from the donations that we received from the audience at the concerts. From 2019, we actually did host 2 concerts in 2020. We were able to use the auditorium in the school, kept it to the limit that's required. We just had the band, the 4 of us on the committee, and maybe 6 people from Abington Camp. And there was no clapping, there was no nothing, there was no sound. We pre-recorded the brass kick and horns in the morning, and then at 6 p.m. that night, Studio 2 went live. Studio 2, the Beatles Tribute, went live. So lots of folks got to watch that off of Facebook, plus they were taped and then shown on cable. So the brass kicking horns were actually shown for what would have been our end of summer concert. So even though we didn't have outside concerts and people couldn't attend, because of the generosity of the people in the audience that come to our concerts and from the money that was collected in 2019, we were able to hire the 2 bands. We pretty much got everybody that was scheduled for 2020 to perform this year. So it was really exciting. And the folks for the first concert, we've pretty much for how many years now closed. Our end of summer concert's been with Dale and the Duds, which is a local favorite band out of East Bridgewater. And this year we felt they were the right band to open with. The people love them. They love the area. They're local boys. But I think the feel coming back was music again. So that was the great part of it. One of the most popular bands that have been here over the years, and the attendance. We kind of looked, and Nancy said there's been, I think, 60 bands over the total of 17 years. This is the 17th season. I came on in 2011, and so we've had some bands, of course, more than once, and others, one time or something like that, depending upon how we read the audience and what they say, what they like. But I would say the most popular band for the feel is Dale and the Duds, and was the Infractions. In 2019, we had 3 concerts in a row with over 1,000 people, and that year the average of the 10 concerts was 680 people. So it varies, it fluctuates. So we have a really good turnout. It's gone way beyond. And the highest total band, it was 2015 with Dale and the Duds at 950. But unfortunately, in 2018, Studio 2 blew them out of the water with 1,140. And then in 2014, it was interesting. We had searched the internet for a Beatles band, somebody that played Beatles music for the 50th anniversary of the Beatles coming to America, which 2014 was. We came across this band called Studio 2, a Beatles Tribute. They're from the Mass, New Hampshire border. And we said, wow, look at them. They actually dressed the part, talked the part, wore mop tops, the whole thing, threw the accent in there, but they actually wore the Nehru suits, or the narrow ties and black, pointed-toed boots and all that kind of stuff. Said, these guys are something else. Well, the first summer we brought them, they were so good, we booked them that night for 2015, and they've been here every year since. The largest audiences show up for Studio 2.
This is my first time performing in Abington with the band.
We also mentioned earlier about donations. And in case you see the basket and the bottle sitting beside us, the bottle is always at the entrance for donations, and every few weeks we will empty it, and usually the people are very generous in both places. At intermission, we have people that go around with the baskets, and it's a free will donation. We don't say you have to do anything, and people are very generous. And the donations that we receive at this year's concert will help pay for next year's concert. Everybody loves our concerts, it seems, and I'm very happy because the more money we get, the better bands we get, and it shows that people appreciate it.
There's not a great expense for our needs, and that the fundraising, again, is done by just the four of us.
Yep.
And it's usually covers the entire, very rare that it doesn't
Right.
cover the whole summer.
And like we have forms in case when a person makes a donation, they want it in honor of somebody or in memory of somebody. Now, if you want to donate an amount of $2,200 or more, then you are called a sponsor. Anything under $200 from 25 up would be called a donor. That, you know, if you use the form and send it in to this address that's here, which would be Abington Summer Concerts at the Town Hall, 500 Glenowitz Way, Abington, 02351. So, the reason our program is now a trifold is because so many people want to donate in honor of somebody or in memory of somebody, including the costs of kids' night, and the other bands. Our budget is well over $25,000 a year. So, without the help of all these people that donate, we wouldn't be having all these concerts. So we really appreciate it and hope they'll continue to support us.
And speaking of Kids Night, of course, we didn't have it this year. Many people approached us on the field when we were either collecting money or just walking through saying, "Are you sure you can't just squeeze Kids Night in?" It was something I thought of back in 2011 and brought it to the committee saying, geez, do you think we could have a night that we could bring music to the kids? Because Nancy was always worried that the kids are always running around and they're not sitting down and listening to the music. I said, we're not going to get kids to sit down anyway. But something that would be geared to them that even the adults would like. And I know we had 500 kids in 2019 and almost 500, and we had just over 500 adults. So we had over 1,000 people that night. And the kids get down there, and it's interactive music. It's not just they sit there and listen to a concert. The band most children's musicians do 50-minute shows, so we really need two. We usually have a single performer that can move easily out of the way and then the band behind them. And they all interact with the kids, so the kids come right down, they get into it, the whole thing. But they have other things to do while they're here. They're not just limited to that particular thing. So Kids Night ended up becoming a major hit, so we were really glad that we did it.
And don't forget, we have Abington's own Joe's Crazy Critters that comes every year.
What's your favorite thing to do here?
Definitely play with my friend Ramona.
And how many times have you come here this summer?
Basically, like all the times the concerts happen.
Nice.
We mentioned the support of so many people, and we are very happy to say the Abington Lions Club has jumped on board because we had a snack bar and nobody was serving anything for the people that came to the concerts. So they offered to provide the staffing and the food at the snack bar. And this is one of their main fundraisers, as it turned out, because of course they're nonprofit and they're always doing good things for people. And I should say that they make the best hamburgers and hot dogs. Everybody loves them, and they're a wonderful group of people.
Not only the best burgers, but the best hot dogs. It feels wonderful after a year and a half to be back.
One thing that everybody said, I wish we had ice cream, so we have it. Thanks to the people at the ice cream shop Cream up on Route 18, we now have cups of ice cream that are available for people to buy. He always gives us a very generous donation, so we couldn't ask for a better combination of the Lions Club and cream, and it just makes for the night perfect.
I used to come here every year with my family. We made so many memories with Abington summer concerts.
I missed them so much last year. I felt like it was a empty summer.
Always fun to come out and see your friends on a Sunday evening.
Oh, my favorite memory is seeing Motor Booty. In the auditorium, they were amazing. I love those guys. Hope they come back.
That was fun, but I like Laura Nuttall's cookies mostly.
We also wanted to mention some of the other people that have supported us. It was, of course, the school department, and we have an arrangement to use the auditorium in case it rains. We have the DPW when anything goes wrong. We have another volunteer that I didn't mention. His name is David Hernandez, and he drives the van.
Yeah.
And where is the van from?
Well, the van is a senior van. It holds like 14 people or something like that. But he picks them up in the van, he drops them off here, goes back, and all he does is keep going around and around and around, picking up and dropping people off. Before that, before we even used the school, that's where we had the concerts when it rained, was inside the senior center. We so outgrew it that we just it just got to the point we had to go someplace else, so we used the auditorium.
I've done events in Abington, but the first time I've been here at this fantastic facility and location. We could really feel the audience. It was something, even though it was a large space, it felt very intimate, and I really liked that connection, so that made it really fun to play whenever you get some energy back like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had a ball. Let me see, I'd love to come back. I'm looking for, Nancy, one of those, no, just joking, we'd love to be back, of course, yeah. I live not too far away, so that works great as well, so nice and local.
Do we have any goals or future plans? And the one next thing that we want to work on is we realize when it gets dark early that we really need more lights on the ceiling of the bandstand to shine down on the performers, because it's pretty difficult. Some of them have their own, but if they don't, then it's kind of difficult. So that's our next goal. And my other future plans, I'd like to retire from this job.
He has to wait till the 20th year.
I don't know if I can make it, but anybody that wants to join or volunteer, they know where to reach us. We have a webpage, and we're on Facebook, and Jan maintains both of those sites.
And we're also on the town calendar.
Now
they can for the past several years, I have access to log all the concerts on the town calendar and on our own Abington Summer Concerts committee page, so they can go to the town website too and find out every concert that's going on. And our website is abingtonsummerconcerts.webs.com. It's just a small generic one, but the Abington Facebook page, we can create our own events and do everything there too, so a lot of feedback from that.
Right. And I should also mention that ever since the beginning of the concerts in 2005, the Abington Cultural Council has always given us some kind of funding so that we can at least afford one or two bands, and we really, really appreciate it. And of course, the more money they get, the more they're able to give us, and they have so many others that need funding too, but I did want to mention them because ever since day one they've been supporting us.
We are very happy with the success of everything. It's grown tremendous just in the time that I've been here. I may want to retire too, so.
And you know that movie, Field of Dreams? Well, I had a bandstand of dreams, so to speak. And so we built it, and they have come. So I'm very thankful for that. And I just want more people to come and enjoy music in the great outdoors, and I want them to realize how important music is in their lives. So we need to support our musicians and music in the schools too, and I hope people will think again and maybe get a little more involved with music programs and supporting music. So I think we've said about all we can say. And thank you again for asking us. It means an awful lot to me.
We look forward to seeing the end product. This will be cool.